Hey sis, you finished moving yet? Mom and Dad are with me and we're planning to head back soon. Hope you're out of there by the time we return.
I'm leaving now. Just a few unpacking left.
What, you're still there? Come on, hurry up. We deliberately went on this trip, thinking you'd be gone before we came back. It's been 3 days already. Are you stalling for some souvenir or something before you finally leave?
No, I'm not. Frankly, I don't even consider myself a part of this family anymore. It's quite apparent how you feel about me, planning a trip precisely when I'm moving out.
You blame us? We know exactly the kind of person you are. If we were there helping you move, you'd expect us to do everything, wouldn't you? Sorry, but we'd rather not be associated with a criminal. We don't accept criminals as part of our family.
Seriously? You're still harping on that? I've explained everything already. I just helped someone on the street, and anyone in my situation would have done the same. Why won't any of you believe me?
Oh, you're still trying to use that excuse. As if anyone would buy into such a far-fetched story. It's just too coincidental that while you were escorting that old lady, $10,000 mysteriously vanished from her purse. It's not a very convincing tale, if you ask me. If you're going to lie, at least come up with something more believable.
It's the truth, Rosa. I didn't steal that money. There's no way I would rob an old lady. I was simply at the wrong place at the wrong time. She's overly suspicious of everyone because she was previously robbed. Naturally, she'd point fingers at a stranger who offered help. But none of you seem to care about what I say or defend me. Do you know how hurtful that is? I'm your family, for crying out loud.
The reason everyone, including the old lady, suspects you is because you are the one responsible. No one wants to defend a criminal, and frankly, at this point, no one believes a word you say. So why not just own up to your actions and tell the truth? Maybe if you apologize, we might consider forgiving you.
How many times do I have to say it? I didn't do it. Why won't any of you believe me? This is beyond ridiculous.
It's not about believing you, but rather your actions speak for themselves. Remember back in middle school when you were a delinquent, smoking and causing trouble? Or how you got rejected from college and never had the motivation to try again? Your history is filled with letting people down and being an utter failure.
None of that has anything to do with what we're discussing right now. Instead of standing up for a family member in need, you choose to kick me out? That's not how a family should treat each other. I thought you'd always have my back. We've known each other our whole lives.
It's high time you stop blaming others and start recognizing your own shortcomings. You're playing the victim card, saying we won't stand up for you. But perhaps you are so untrustworthy that even your own family doesn't want to defend you?
I've had enough of this. I get it. Everyone seems determined to believe that I am some kind of criminal. Fine. I'll leave today and I want nothing to do with any of you from now on. Is that what you all want?
Oh, really? That's quite all right with us. You know, if you just confessed and apologized, we would have considered letting you come back home. It's not too late to admit that you're a liar.
People who label their family members as criminals aren't family to me, especially when there's no evidence to prove it. After today, I'm no longer part of this so-called family. You can let Mom and Dad know that too. They've hurt me the most.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be sure to pass along your message. Honestly, it works out well for us since having a criminal in the family is not a good look. You know the neighbors would judge us. We don't need that kind of negativity in our lives.
They probably would, given our nosy neighbors. I'm cutting ties with this toxic family, and I couldn't be happier about it. I don't want to be associated with people who care so much about what others think.
Well, we don't want to be associated with you either. There's not one redeeming quality about you. While I'm pursuing my education, you're wasting your life playing video games. It's embarrassing to have you as a sister. I'd rather have someone with a strong work ethic and determination.
My choice of job has nothing to do with you. I won't judge what you want to do.
Yeah, but it gets on my nerves. It's frustrating to have a sister who couldn't get into college, can't hold down a job, and spends all her time in her room playing games. I mean, literally every time I look in your room, you're playing games. It's like you have no other purpose in life.
So what? I enjoy playing games. I cover my expenses and my free time is mine to enjoy. Why don't you mind your own business?
No, you don't understand. Your actions affect me too. The neighbors keep asking about you whenever they talk to me. They wonder why they haven't seen you and if you're happy with your work.
Sounds like they just love gossiping. You don't have to entertain them. If it bothers you that much, stop talking to them. And the reason they ask such things is that you always have something negative to say about me. Obviously, that becomes the main topic of conversation.
Well, it's true. You really are a good-for-nothing. Think about how it affects Mom and Dad, having a failed daughter depending on them for so long. They worry about how long this will last.
I've told them countless times that I have a job, but they never seem to believe me. Honestly, if you're annoyed by being questioned, then stop spreading rumors.
Or you could just get your act together and start making something of your life. Don't put your faults on others. You love blaming everyone else. Maybe you need therapy before everyone starts hating you.
No matter what I say, I won't get anywhere with you. I'm not causing you any harm, so back off.
You're causing me a lot of harm. You being a shut-in affects the whole family. It's inconsiderate to both Mom and Dad. Do you want everyone to hate you? Just get your act together and maybe people will like you more.
I don't exist to please everyone and make them like me. I pay my bills, right? Yet you still claim I don't have a job. How could I pay my bills without one?
Don't act like it's something special. You're an adult. You're supposed to pay your bills. I'll soon finish college and secure a well-paying job in a big corporation. Unlike you, I have goals.
Cool. Do whatever you want. Why should I care? It's not like I couldn't have gotten a job like that if I wanted to.
Yep, lie as much as you can. A shut-in like you could never get a decent job. Don't pretend you had a choice. You're still at home, right? I hope you're not stealing things while we're away.
I don't want any of your stuff around me. I don't need unpleasant reminders. I'm checking to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I don't want to have to come back here a second time.
Okay, fine with me. Please check every corner. We don't want a criminal coming back after we've worked hard to get you to leave.
I don't want to see your faces either. I'm checking everywhere possible. And I won't be sharing my new address with any of you. Don't try to find me.
Trust me, no one's interested in where you go after you leave. Just how delusional are you? We had enough of you the moment you became a criminal. Mom and Dad only have eyes for me now. They don't waste their attention on you.
That's nothing new. You've always been their favorite. I've stopped caring about it long ago. But this time I thought maybe my family would have my back. Even though I knew what kind of people you all are. I hoped just this once.
This is the last time you can lash out against us. Mom and Dad have never considered you a good person. They're a bit afraid of what you're capable of. Anyway, you have to leave. We'll be home in 2 hours, and we don't want to see you there.
Give me 15 minutes and I'll be out of here. Anyway, it's not a big deal for me to leave. The house hasn't felt the same since we remodeled it last year. I'm not that attached to it.
Where are you going next? You have no money, so I'm guessing some rundown apartment. Good luck finally striking out on your own. It's about time. But don't come back crying about how much you regret what happened. Hey sis, it's been a while. How have you been? We're planning to have dinner tonight, and we'd love for you to join us, and we'd absolutely love it if you could join us. It's our treat, of course.
Seriously, what's going on? Weren't you content when I made it clear that I want nothing to do with you? Now out of the blue, you're messaging me, asking me to join your dinner. It's absurd. Why would I have a change of heart now?
Please don't take it so negatively. We are still family, and having dinner together would be a wonderful opportunity to catch up. Mom and Dad are genuinely excited to see you. Can you make an exception this time?
You have the audacity to call me family after all the hurtful things that were said. Criminals aren't considered family, remember?
I must apologize for that remark. It was wrong of me. I know you were falsely accused, and you went to great lengths to find the real culprit. You proved yourself to be incredibly competent, even more than I had ever thought.
What else could I have done? You have no idea what it feels like when everyone looks down on you for something you didn't do. I had to clear my name, even if I had to do it on my own. Even if you now believe in my innocence, I can't go back to a family that drove me away in such a manner. So please, just continue staying out of my life.
Please don't be so harsh. We are genuinely sorry for everything that happened. You can't make it to dinner tonight? Can't we mend things between us just this once? It's been so long since we had a proper conversation.
I'm sorry, but it's not just about tonight. I won't be available tomorrow or the day after either. I need time for myself, and I can't afford to waste any minute on you guys. I need you to respect my decision and never contact me again.
Wait, don't go so quickly. Fine, I'll stop bothering you about dinner. But let me tell you why I reached out to you. We're facing some difficulties, and we could really use your help. By the way, I've heard some amazing things about your career. How much do you earn? Is it a substantial amount?
I had a feeling this was coming. My earnings are personal, and I don't intend to share them with you. If you need money, ask someone else.
I heard it from some friends who are huge fans of yours. I can't believe I didn't know it was you all along. I thought you were just at home playing games, but you're actually a famous streamer. That's truly impressive.
And now you're suddenly impressed? After all the times you mocked and belittled what I do?
I'll admit I made a huge mistake. Having a super famous streamer as a sister is something to be proud of. You're even ranked 8 among the top earners, right? Do you know how much those in the top 10 earn? It's incredible.
You seem quite enthusiastic about this, but I can't help but wonder about your intentions. I've already cut ties with you. It doesn't matter to you whether I earn a substantial amount or not.
Huh? I said I was sorry for what happened in the past. Now that we know the kind of person you truly are, Mom, Dad, and I all sincerely want to bring you back into the family fold. You've earned our respect, and we genuinely want to take care of you. Please consider coming back home.
Firstly, I have no desire to return home. Secondly, I was dead serious about severing ties. Leaving home was the best decision I ever made. And I now live in a comfortable high-rise apartment, free from criticism and judgment.
Wait, we really need you back. It's an urgent situation.
Huh? You need my help now? Weren't you relieved to get rid of me before?
The family is facing some serious difficulties, and
I know what's going on. Let's start with the living expenses, which are already a burden. However, the major concern is the huge loan from last year's remodeling. On top of that, there's the loan for the car. And let's not forget your college tuition. Do you expect me to foot all those bills? Your gaming, shut-in, so-called good-for-nothing sister.
oh my god, you didn't think it was worth mentioning when you were thrown out. Mom and Dad thought you'd continue paying.
No way! I won't be giving money to people who kicked me out of my own home. Sure, Dad's pay cuts were manageable, and I did contribute a little. But it's not my responsibility. I don't even live there anymore. And it was never my duty to cover your expenses.
I'm sorry. We really need your help, sis. We can't pay the bills and they've taken away the car. Can you imagine how difficult it is?
That's not good. If you can't afford the car, it's hard to imagine you can keep up with the house payments. I'm guessing you'll end up selling it. And as for your dreams of graduating, It looks like they're slipping away.
Please, take this seriously. If we lose the house, we'll have nowhere to go. We have no savings left. Please, just help us avoid selling it. I know we were cruel to you, but this is a dire situation.
I'm sorry, but I can't assist you with this. It's your house, your problem. You'll have to manage with Dad's earnings. Cut back on unnecessary expenses and try to make ends meet.
Dad's money covers my tuition and our living expenses. I started part-time jobs, but it's still not enough. Selling the house seems inevitable. Despite being so close to graduating, I might have to drop out. And that breaks my heart because I've worked incredibly hard to get this far.
That's a tough situation. But remember what you said about not wanting to fail like your big sis? Perhaps it's time to reconsider that statement.
I'm sorry. Please find it in your heart to forgive me. I don't want to give up on my dreams because of financial constraints. Do you know how hard I've worked? I'm even job hunting now. It's my top priority.
You have indeed worked hard up until now. I suppose you'll have to put even more effort into your job and find ways to earn more money. Or perhaps consider moving to a more affordable apartment. You don't necessarily need that fancy house to focus on your studies.
No, that's terrible. Besides, selling the house won't solve everything. We'd end up in debt, and I can't imagine living a life burdened by constant debt.
Well, you reap what you sow. Good luck trying to recover from the financial strain. And just so you know, since you were curious about my earnings, I probably make more in a month than all of you combined can scrape together in a year. So, think about that while you toil away every day.
You don't have to rub it in. Please, big sis. Just this once, help us out. We'll work hard and pay you back, I promise. We're only asking for this one favor.
Let me think about it.
Nope. What? Even after begging so much? Your family is suffering and you're going to sit back and watch?
Okay, let me reconsider. Nope. Even if I were to give you the money, there's no guarantee you'd pay me back. I know your nature well enough to suspect you'd conveniently forget about the debt, considering how much I earn. I know who you are, sis. So my answer remains no.
I can't believe you'd say that. We're family, right? How can you think of us this way?
That sounds quite familiar. If I recall correctly, I said something similar when you were kicking me out. My words didn't mean much to you then. I have no reason to help any of you. Deal with your troubles yourselves.
Oh, come on. I'm so sorry. We shouldn't have treated you that way. Please don't do this. I want to finish school and not let my dreams slip away.
After some time, my family continued to pester and demand money from me. But I had no reason to do so. It was their problem, and they needed to figure it out on their own. Unable to bear the situation any longer, I cut off all contact with them and moved to a different apartment that they don't know. My family sank into debt, and they had to sell their house and move into a small, rundown home. But it still wasn't enough for them to make ends meet. My younger sister, unable to afford her education, had to drop out and work at a nearby supermarket. They went from one hardship to another, and it seemed like there was no end in sight. I hope they can overcome their difficulties soon, but of course I won't be helping them. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and hit the subscribe button below.
Oh, Ariana, do you have time now? Yes, I'm fine. What's up, Rachel? I need to tell you something. I got pregnant. You got pregnant? Congratulations, Rachel! Thank you. Now that the wedding is over, it's the right time to have a baby. Are you feeling okay? Sometimes I have morning sickness, but I'm fine. I'm glad to hear that. but you might feel sick anytime, so take it easy. Are you going back to your home? I'm planning to. I haven't talked to Zachary yet though. I think it's safer for you to be with your parents. If you can go back home, you should. Of course, I'll be happy to help too. Thank you very much. Do you know it's a boy or a girl? We don't know yet. Your son's baby is a boy, right? Yes, the oldest son has a baby boy. That will make him 2 years older than yours. They're not that far apart in age, so I hope they'll get along. I know. I hope so too. I'm sure they'll get along. I'm so happy to have more grandchildren. Your oldest son child is your first grandchild, and I'm sure he's extra cute for you. But I hope you like our child too. Of course, I will treat them equally. I've always loved my sons equally too. I'm glad to hear that. I know it's going to be a tough time for you, but I wish you the best. I heard raising a child today is not what it used to be, so I might not be able to give you good advice just because I've raised a child before. Above all, it costs a lot of money. It seems like it's normal for kids to have multiple activities outside school nowadays. Oh, really? I took a lot of lessons when I was young too. Spanish, piano, ballet, swimming school, and gymnastics. That's amazing. You didn't have much time to play around, did you? Sundays and Wednesdays were my free time, but it's not that hard if you enjoy them. Lessons can be just for fun. The only thing my kids did was Boy Scout. Personally, I wanted them to play soccer or baseball, but my boys don't like sports. My parents had tutor help my studies from the 5th grade, so I guess I had a lot of experiences. Your parents must have been very passionate about education. Their enthusiasm is wonderful. I would like to do the same. I want to do everything I can for my child. I see. You'll be a great mother. I saw an interview once with a parent who has a child from Harvard. She said she had prepared since he was a baby so that he could go to Harvard. That's how prepared you need to be. Since he was a baby. When my boys were babies, I could barely make it through for a day. I didn't have time to think about their future. Parents of Harvard students are amazing. That's just an example though. But I think it's best to prepare early. That's true. I don't want my chance to end up just going to university. I need to be prepared. I'm going to send my child to a famous university abroad. Wow, you're thinking of studying abroad. He'll be a great person in the future. But your sons are both highly educated. They both went to famous universities and joined major companies. What kind of education did you give them? If you did something special, I'd like to know. I didn't do anything. I never told them to study. But I let them do whatever they were interested in. That's about it. I'm embarrassed to say it, but I really didn't do anything. Is that how they grew up to be such great sons? I don't know much about studying, so I couldn't really teach them. I didn't go to university, so... What? You didn't go to university? That's right. I grew up in a poor family. I had to work to support my younger brothers and sisters. I can understand if you lost the credit in university, but you didn't even go to university. I can't believe it. There were a lot of them around me back then. Some of them went to big city to work. I could understand if you were not very intelligent, but in your case, it doesn't seem like so. I don't have any friends who didn't even go to university. It's very surprising. I'm shocked. I guess it's shocking for a person like you who grew up in an educated family. I've never cared about my background, but I should have explained it to you. I'm sorry. Rachel, it's almost your due date, isn't it? How are you feeling? Baby is moving around in my body a lot, but I guess the time hasn't come yet. I'm getting excited now. Ariana, I told my parents about your background. They were shocked as well. Really? It can't be! There's no way you don't go to university! But I can't change the past now. There's no point to get a degree now. Besides, I've never regret my past. Huh? Why not? If I hadn't worked then, my younger brother and sister wouldn't have been able to get enough education. But they both managed to go to school and study hard. My brother became a doctor, and my sister is a researcher. They are really smart except you. That's true. Well, I started work early to help out with the family finances, so I feel that I was able to help my parents. I've never been ashamed of not going to university. I'm rather proud of it. I don't understand. Even if you don't care, people around you do. Your education has a big influence on what people think of you. I'm sure a lot of people will feel like me if they heard you didn't study at university. That may be one way of thinking, but not everyone thinks like you. Nowadays, we value each person's opinion, right? Your background is not something to be proud of, but a lot. I can't believe your parents let their child didn't get to university. If you guys were poor, they must have been stupid. Since they were stupid, they wouldn't care if their daughter didn't graduate university. Hey, Rachel, will you stop insulting my parents? They worked hard too. They also said they felt bad for me. Not allowing your child to go to school is like abandoning. There were many reasons. My mother got sick, and the company my father worked for went bankrupt. So I was the one who decided not to go to university. So please don't say bad things about them. I don't care what the reasons are. I definitely don't want to be that kind of parent. I'm sure you took after your parents and became stupid too. I'm here to tell you something. I just had a baby. It's a boy. Congratulations! I can't wait to see him. Excuse me? When can I see him? Well, you still don't like about my background. No, I don't. I'll be lying if I said it didn't bother me. But I haven't had much trouble even though I didn't go to university. I found a job quickly through my relative. It hasn't affected my career or when I changed job either. But it does affect your salary, doesn't it? Well, it might have affected my first salary, but I became self-employed in the middle of my career, so it doesn't really matter. And you became a chiropractor. I was studying to get a license when I was working. It was hard work, but very rewarding. I had a lot of customers, and I started to make a lot of money. But if you had gone to university from the beginning, you wouldn't have had to work so hard, right? After all, you became a chiropractor because you wanted to increase your income. You're living an inefficient life. Life doesn't go like how you have planned. Oh God. I guess you're not so smart because you aren't educated enough. Excuse me. I knew it. You didn't go to university, so you must be stupid. Please don't come to see our child. Rachel, what's with you all of a sudden? You're the first person to call me stupid. I'm too embarrassed to tell anyone that I have someone who didn't enter the university in my family. What if my child gets a bad influence from Yale? There will be no bad influences. Yes, there it is. He might become stupid. What if he took after your blood? It's terrifying even I just thought about it. Will you calm down a little? I guess you've just had a baby, so your emotion got messed up. You've been terrible. How can I calm down? Would you please leave my son alone? You don't have to take care of him. Don't say like that. He's my grandchild too. I've been looking forward to having one for a long time. I went to see you many times during the pregnancy. Do you remember? That was because I couldn't wait to see your baby. But I'd like you to stop it from now on. Please don't come to see my child. I don't want someone like a low-class person who didn't graduate university. I don't want him to become stupid like you. What? You have another grandchild. Why don't you take care for him? Your older son's child may turn out to be an idiot though. Hey, you don't have to make fun of my background that much. There are successful people who didn't go to university. There are people who are happy too. Education is the most important thing in this era. If people knew that his grandmother didn't go to university, my son would be embarrassed. You will give him a bad influence, so please stay away from him. I don't want any stupid relative. Even if it's my husband's mother, fine. If you insist that much, I'll stay out of him. I only have one grandchild who is my oldest son's baby. That's how you want me to think, right? Yeah, that's fine. Forget about my child. I'm sorry, Ariana. I was wrong. Your husband and parents are very upset on day. They slapped me. Who did? My parents. I've never been slapped before. My cheeks still hurt. I got a call from your parents. They apologized for their daughter's rude behavior. They kept apologizing. I didn't expect them to be so angry. I thought my parents were also shocked by your background. Yes, they were a little surprised because they didn't have those kind of people around them much. But unlike you, they understood my situation. Each of us has our own circumstances, and they knew there are other families like that. Which means you were the only one who thought I was stupid. I didn't think things would go like this. And my husband won't even talk to me. What if we end up divorcing? Why did you tell my husband? My son himself noticed something was wrong because I didn't go to see your child at all. He asked me why I didn't treat his child as much as my oldest son's child. That's why he asked me, so I explained what you had told me. After that, things went to hell between us. I've never seen my husband so angry. He suddenly changed, so I was really scared. My son cares a lot about me, you know. He's a mother's boy. I was scared of my husband, so I ran away to my parents' house. And then my husband called my parents. Now they got furious, then they even slapped me. My son asked your parents, how is it possible to raise a child to be so rude? Making fun of someone's background and telling it face to face is insane. The worst thing is telling it to a mother-in-law. Your parents apologized, saying that they had raised you in the wrong way. I thought everyone felt the same way I did. There's no reason I have to be made fun from you. I made enough money as a chiropractor. I even have enough money to pay a down payment on home for my sons. What? You made that much money? Even though you didn't study at university? Are you still saying like that? I've been saving and investing besides work for a long time. I had a customer who knew a lot about that kind of thing, and he told me. After I got married, I got my husband join me, and we've been investing our money, so we have plenty of money. I didn't know that. Well, it looks like my oldest son will be the only one who I can pay a down payment. You don't need it, right? It's like we've broken down our relationship. I think it's a bigger house will be better for the kids though. I didn't know. I just assumed you were stupid and incapable of doing anything just because you didn't get enough education. Your parents are coming tomorrow to apologize again. You're coming with them, right? Yes, I'll be there. My son won't forgive you unless I do. He'll probably ask for divorce if it stays like this. He's so angry that he might start saying like that. I don't want to divorce him. I thought we were going to be happy after having a child. I don't want to ruin that. Please forgive me, Ariana. Please. That will depend on how you behave tomorrow. I'll apologize again and again. Before taking care of your child, you should start over with your education first. I can't believe you couldn't see this was coming. You should reconsider who was the idiot. The next day, Rachel's family came to our house to apologize. Her parents apologized a lot, saying that they had made a mistake in raising their daughter. Rachel also apologized, but my son could not forgive her, so they got separated for a while. They talked again and again, but could not bridge the gap, and ended up divorcing. However, they had a big fight over who will have the child. Rachel graduated college, but had little work experience and no qualifications. Her parents do not have much money and they are ill. Therefore, we cannot expect any support from them. Because of that, my son was the one who was more financially independent. He successfully won the custody. And now I love both of my grandchildren equally. Rachel's parents told me that if their daughter had not done anything unnecessary, we all could have loved our grandchildren and I lived happily together. I think taking care of children is really difficult. I hope that my grandchildren will live their honest life now and forever.